Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I didn't want to make this video, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway because this was something that I calculated in my head was possible. I knew this could happen, but I also know what can happen after this, so I did it anyway. I bought some Terra Luna, and it dipped, and it wiped out just about everything in my crypto, all of it. Now that wasn't that a lot. It wasn't a lot, honestly, because with everything that's been going on, it was already drained almost what 80-70% anyway, based on what I owned. Um, but I took that small portion of what I had left for Doggle on Mars and just bought Terra Luna at about 1 o'clock. By 1:45, it was all gone. but, but the good thing is, I've also been doing homework and research and everything else that's been going on with this thing. So I knew that was potentially something that could happen. But at this price and where it's headed, which I wish I would have waited. That's all I'm saying. I wish I would have waited maybe an hour, 2 hours. I'd have like 4 or 5 times more. But the point is this: could this thing run to zero? Yeah, it's more than likely will. And I've already lost everything. It's horrible. But what's also possible here is that they find a way to somewhat recover this thing. And if that's the case, aside from AMC, this is the play of the year. Like, I know the risk versus reward. Let me tell you something. The risk is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I've already lost everything. Like, it's horrible. I didn't want to make this video because it would reveal how much of a gambler I actually can be and how stupid decisions I can make. But how stupid is it actually if you calculate the risk and still do it? Probably very, but that's what I did. I said, you know what? Could I use this money I have right now? Yes, I could use it. Is this all my money? No, small fraction of it. But it's all of my crypto money. So it's like I was picking out of it for various things that I needed around the house, cell phone bills, things like that. So it's very important money. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, what am I doing? What am I exactly doing right now? I'm investing in something that I'm hopeful can go crazy, right? This is the biggest gamble available on the market. It has like a 99% rate of it being garbage from here. But when you listen to what it is that they're discussing, what you understand is that people got their entire life savings wiped out. And the dude who's behind this also had his entire fortune wrapped up in this thing. What I also know is if he doesn't find a way to fix it, he's going to prison. It's not just about wealth or anything like that. He's going to have to face consequences. He's going to want to do everything again to fix this. In the short term, it would have been great if he did a dead cat bounce. But to be honest with you, if it would have did something like that, I probably would have sold it short term but bought right back in, because I really think that the risk here is insane, but the reward here is wild, like absolutely wild. I mean, you're talking about something that was worth $111 just 3 days ago. It's now worth a fraction of a cent. A fraction of a cent. Now, when I purchased it, unfortunately, it was at 5 cents, and that's why I'm wiped out. Now, everything that I purchased could have been purchased at $20. That's what it said last, and it's going to dip even further. I know that. So I'm devastated about how few I was able to get and how much of my spended money is ultimately gone. But the amount that I got, though very modest based on what is possible right now, is still a crazy amount to a degree, to where if they're able to recover this thing somehow, if they're able to get UST back to where it needs to be, and they can prove that this Terra Luna thing was in fact manipulated by someone who was intending to attack it, which I believe is the case, that this Terra Luna stablecoin is not in fact defaulted or broken, but was manipulated, faith will be restored into it, and in some time it will return to be what it was intended to be. Now, will it ever hit all-time highs? I don't think anyone will ever believe in this particular coin to that degree. But a person like myself can think of ways around that if they want to survive this. Like changing the name, changing the emblem. That's how you handle that. You make it something that it's not called now. It ain't Luna no more. It's called something entirely different. You turn it into something else. Brand change. But the point is, it's more than likely not going to recover at all, because what people are doing now is they're day trading UST. And because they're day trading UST, Luna itself, its function is to align with UST. So in order to do that, it would need to continue to remultiply itself, which is why the price is continuing to decrease. It's not because people are selling it. It's because its function is to remultiply and multiply and remultiply, thus diluting the price. So it's inevitable that it goes down. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, I knew it would definitely go down. It's just, at what point would it stabilize? I was hopeful it would stabilize somewhere around a cent. It looks like it's headed to where Dogalon Mars is actually headed, or where it actually is, which is very, very, very further down, with many zeros, which leaves you with fractions of a penny, unfortunately. But if it skyrockets, if they're able to recover it, which they should be, in theory, very intent on doing, if they don't want lawsuits that are going to be coming from every rich direction, because this is not a minor event, and it does affect how people view crypto as a whole. In crypto, they do not want to disappear. They're already too heavily invested in it. So at this point in time, this can make or break crypto. And for that reason alone, I believe they will make this happen. They will fix this. It may take some time, but they will make this right, because too many people lost too much money. Important people who still have a lot of it left that they can use to sue you. Those people lost a lot of money, and so did a lot of people in retail, who I also know, if they're invested properly, will also have money soon too in other areas. Now, maybe they'll have to sell out short term to keep themselves afloat right now, but I think that's the state of everybody right now. And I think there are enough people out there who've set aside money for the inevitable crash that we knew was coming. You know what I mean? We knew this was coming. So there's a lot of people who have a lot of buying power right now too, and I don't think they're taking that into account. But nevertheless, it's an entirely different conversation for an entirely different video. This particular thing is this: the risk versus reward. For me, someone who's just going all in, gung ho on just about everything I'm doing, it was worth it. It was very worth it, and that's what it's about, man. Just taking every risk that comes my way that makes sense to me based on just the gung-ho nature of my lifestyle. If I had a bunch of kids or family, or if I had people relying upon me, I would never take these type of risks. That's why I tell people never to follow me. When I get on this camera, I'm like, look, these are bad decisions that I'm making on purpose for the chance to do something, to have some big money. You know what I mean? Some people are wired to take gambles. I'm one of them. That's all that is. But reality says that this is something you stay away from. That's what it's telling us. So I should have done that, or at least waited a little longer, so that I could have got significantly much more. But all in all, man, as I stand before you today, having made this decision, I get to convey the feeling that I felt losing my savings, whatever my little savings is. And then I think about the people who lost so much. And, people who were a part of this thing 3 days ago, who maybe woke up this morning. Maybe they didn't know what had happened. Maybe they ain't been paying attention. And I'm sitting up here and I'm licking my wounds about my little $400, which was actually $2,000 last week, but whatever. The point is, the money that I lost had me down, and then I realized, no, that's not why I'm going through this. I'm going through this because I can bring it to you guys and say, yo, not only did I have this happen, but I jumped into it believing that it can go back up. Not all the way up to where these people may need it to be, though hey, miracles do happen, but to a point where it can make me enough money to make me feel good about what I'm doing. And I took the risk. Hopeful that people can get their money back, that a miracle can take place. And now that I'm a part of it, having lost whatever my little fraction of the coins are, I can say I'm in there with you guys, whether I like it or not. You know what I mean? And to just know that you are not alone. I think that's what a person can offer when you are in a situation like this. And I think the entire country, even if you weren't a part of Luna, if you're invested in any way right now, even the housing market, it's all in a bad place. You know what I mean? But as an AMC ape, I can honestly say there are things going on right now that maybe look like they're going to go unpunished or look like they're going to go unresolved. Um, but that is just not the case. Things are going to change very quickly, just as they gotten bad. Very quickly, I believe they can get uh, resolved rather quickly. Some of these issues that we're having financially, and so I'm just sitting here at this point, relishing in the idea of what could possibly be, and not worried so much about the short term of things, because at the end of the day, a loss is only a loss if you lock it in. At the end of the day, no matter what it is you own, even if it's worth nothing, it's still credited to you. Period. Whatever it is. So let that be what it is. And if you decide that you value it to whatever degree, then it's worth that to you, for whatever that's worth. And that's not limited to stuff that we invest in, money and stuff like that. I'm talking about anything and everything in your life. If it means something to you, the price tag on it but matters so much, so long as you're not willing to let go of it. And if somebody else demands it, that's when it becomes something that has a price tag on it. So, as far as I can tell, this Luna situation, it's something that is going to help define the era that we're in. This event will never be forgotten. It'll go into history books. It'll be those who pushed it into motion will be spoken of as well. And to some strange degree, even though it's after the fact, I'm now a part of that too. I'm now a part of it too. I walked myself into it, but I'd imagine most others did too. There's a lot of people that invested over the last 48 hours since the crash. You know what I mean? They've all lost everything. You understand what I'm saying? There were people who doubled down on this on the way down, thinking it would bounce at some point, like myself. And their money got sucked into this thing too. So there's people who are still incurring losses like I did today, right now, in this same play. But what if they all hold on to it? What happens then? What if none of them panic? Because here's the thing. Here I go. Here's the thing. The market makers control the market itself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, one of the reasons why Terra Luna isn't rising right now is because people don't know where to purchase it. Certain brokerages have, guess what? Rendered it something that you can't purchase. Think about that. I am. So if that is going on, would that not force it into ridiculous places? Now, maybe they're saving us all from ourselves. No doubt about it. But if it's not being shut off across the board, then are they really? Are they really? Think about it. I can get it here, I can get it here, I can get it here. Okay, but I can't get it in all of those other places. So as I buy it here, and I look at the price diving, I realize that the only reason why people are actually seeing it dive is because they're not able to purchase it. Not that they don't want it, but that they can't get to it. And those are the aspects of the situation that they control. They may not control the price itself, but they can control who and where it goes and how it's gotten to whom. And in that rhythm, they control the money. So, because I understand that also fueled why I jumped into Luna today. See, that's the thing, man. When you're an AMC ape and you've been in this thing as long as I have, the money that I lost in this play, in AMC, I lost that in many times over. Many. So while I'm feeling the loss, it's more so about the loss of decision, not necessarily the incurred loss of money, because if I were to look at my AMC account, I'm pretty sure I lost more than that today. Like literally. So what I'm here to say is this. I have no problem diamond handing these Terra Luna coins. No problem doing that. And if it does bounce one day, great. But if for some reason it doesn't, one thing's for sure, the market maker controls the market. So if they want it to skyrocket, it'll jump. For whatever that's worth. For whatever that's worth. That's why it's kind of iffy right now. If you're not thinking long term, or you're not an experienced day trader in crypto, you're not going to make the short term to mid term money that you're looking for, because they control it. They control it all. You know, it's that simple. This is the same reason why I invested in Doggone on Mars for so long, because I knew that they would provide a somewhat fake floor to Doggone on Mars by restricting it on crypto.com. Now, once they lift the restriction, now you start seeing the floor that we're seeing in some of these dives that we're getting. People weren't able to sell quickly because they weren't allowing them to. They were restricting it. See what I'm saying? So these are the type of things you understand that this is done across the board. You understand that if something's tanking, it's because they want it to. If something rises, it's because they allow it to. And the money goes where they want it to go. They have all of our information. They're connected to all of our accounts. They know when and where the money goes. And if they want you to have it, you will get it. If they don't want you to have it, it will be difficult for you to obtain it. This is what I've surmised after being involved in this trade game for the last 3-4 years, both stocks and crypto. It works the same way. The market maker controls the market, and psychologically, their intention is to psych you out of your position. That's it. They're not looking to do anything other than trick you. That's all it's about. The crypto just happens to be the subject that they use to apply the manipulation method. If they could use something else, they'd use something else. Either way, it's about making you make mistakes. Like buying high, even though you never know when high actually is. Because the moment you buy, you start seeing things dip. I think that actually happened today with Terra Luna, to be honest with you. It behaved like AMC. As soon as you purchase, suddenly it starts to dip. And you look at the chatter and everybody's saying, I bought more, I bought more, I bought more. And you see the price continue to dip, 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 dip. Why? Because there are only certain avenues that they can actually get it from. The game is as it is, man. The game is as it is. That's why the apes are so necessary, because as long as this is the case, they can control exactly who gets what. And that's not limited to money, because money controls things. It controls food, how good quality your food is, how good the quality of your water is, how good the quality of everything that you use is, your gas, how your education system is set up in your neighborhood, how well everything gets done. The quality of life in your section is controlled by these people and these methods. If it doesn't affect you directly, it affects your employer, it affects the things that you frequent, it affects all of it. All ties in together. See, and I just see this clearly. I kind of just naturally understand this. So at some point in time, I'm going to be able to put it all together and make a lot of money. So that's how I'm looking at it, man. I'm just being as patient, and I'm learning from good decisions and bad ones. I'm taking the resolve that I've had from being an AMC ape, and I'm applying it to various different things. And sometimes I understand that method is going to work in my favor. And I understand sometimes that method is going to help me lose my backside. It just is what it is, man. It's an ape method. But I can tell you, apes we're going to win big, or we're going to hold all the way to the ground. That's how we operate. And I'm going to treat Terra Luna the same way. I really am. I'm going to hold it all the way to the ground, or I'm going to let it go wherever it's going to go. Since it's already worthless, the money's already gone. You see what I'm saying? What am I? From here? You think I'm selling from here? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No. I'll watch $400 turn to $27 in 2 hours. I'm not selling. Because if it can go down that fast, it can go up that fast. That's what I've learned. So, it is what it is, man. I wanted to share my loss with you all, or it ain't a loss if you don't lock it in, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Let you know that I feel stressed that the decision has not worked out in immediate short term, but in the long term, I like my chances. I like my chances based on the need to fix this. Human greed will fuel that, and the desire to stay out of prison will definitely fuel that. Yeah, it'll fuel it for sure. So, it's gonna take some time. That's the part that sucks. You know, but at the same time, it's like so could anything else. If it's worth having, it's worth waiting for. So, I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, we live and we make decisions, and we can't undo some of those decisions. But if you wait them out, you let the calendar fold a couple more times, you don't give up, maybe a good thing will happen. Maybe. There's always room for optimism when you have your heart in the right place. You know what I mean? There's room for optimism when you know what you're walking into. So it is what it is, man. That's what I'm gonna leave you with. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.